Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back to the online classes at SMB CAPS. I am Abid Hussain. Today our lecture is about the units, standard units of the length, standard unit of the mass, standard unit of the time. As we have the meter, kilogram and the second. So today we will talk about the meter, kilogram and the second. Now first of all we have the meter. Actually, meter is the unit of the length, as you know well and you have studied in your previous lectures. So actually first the definition of the meter which was given, that the meter is the official unit of the length in international system of the units, means SI systems, and its first idea was given in 18th century by the French Academy of the Science. In this academy it was defined that how you can define a meter. Actually they gave a concept about the pendulum, that if we will take a pendulum and it will take a time to come from one place to another place, from one side to another side, and the distance covered in this period was called as the 1 meter. There were two faults which were coming. No standard definition for 1 second. We require standard definition, and the value of gravity also changes from place to place. So these were two difficulties which they faced. Then there was another concept which was given for the meter, and this concept was that there should be the distance from the equator to the North Pole, so which will go from the Paris. So the distance should be the divided by the 10 million, and this 10 million distance will be counted to be as the 1 meter. So it was also rejected at that time, because the distance from the North Pole to the equator was 51, 30, 7, 40 twice. So it was also rejected. Then in 1791 distance was covered from the Dunkirk to the Barcelona, and this system was divided again by the 10 million, and this distance from the North Pole to the equator was divided by the 10 million, and it was called as the 1 meter. In 1799 France produced a platinum bar. Actually this was made of 1 meter platinum bar, and it was called as the meter of the archives. So the question is that why the platinum bar was used here. Actually platinum has some of the properties, like platinum doesn't react easily. It means it doesn't expand the contacts if the temperature changes. Means if there was any change in the temperature, then there would be no any change in the bar. Actually then it was also iridium which was used with the platinum to make the bars and the copies of the bars of the 1 meter. So these were sent to the other countries, and now these were used in that time officially there. So now in 1960 meter was again equal to the wavelengths which were 1650763.73. Actually now keep in your mind that standard of the meter, like the scale, was remained same, but they came to the atomic standard. Now what is the atomic standard? Like we have the krypton 86 atom, and it was kept that in 1 second how much wavelengths were there which were covered. Okay, so now we will talk about the wavelength first, that what are the wavelength. Actually wavelength are the 2 points which can be the upper 2 points or the lower 2 points, and the distance between these 2 points is called as the wavelength. Okay, and it is represented by the lambda, and so on. You will study in the further. So keep in your mind that standard 1 meter platinum bar was kept as the same, but only it was seen here that how much wavelengths of the krypton will cover to measure this 1 meter platinum bar, and these number of the wavelength, which were the 165076.373 wavelengths, these were kept as the standard wavelengths, that these wavelengths are covered, and this distance is called the 1 meter, and it was measured through the platinum bar. And we have talked about the platinum bar, that what is the platinum bar. So the scientists have more craze to define it more exactly. So for defining this, they came to the speed of light in vacuum, and they took it as a standard to define a meter. So the speed of light is a fundamental constant of the universe, and it has a fixed value. Means the speed of light in vacuum has a fixed value, and the fixed value is 2997992.458 meter per second. So the definition of meter, remind in your mind that the definition of meter only changed, but not the bar. Bar bars remain same. So in November 1983, the old definition was again changed, and the new definition came into being, and it was 1/2997992.458. So this definition is nowadays used in all over the world for defining a meter. Hence the new definition of the meter is the distance that light travels in vacuum in 1/2997992.458 seconds. Okay, so this is the standard of the length, and it is called the meter. Now we will talk about the standard of the mass. Actually, standard of mass means the unit of the mass. So here we have the SI unit of mass, which is called the kilogram. Actually, kilogram is a mass of a platinum iridium alloy cylinder. Means there was a cylinder which is made by the platinum and iridium, and this cylinder, which is a standard cylinder there, is known as the kilogram. Now this cylinder is kept at the International Bureau of the Weights and the Measures, so in Paris. Okay, now this cylinder is now used as the standard of the mass and has name of the kilogram, and the copies of this kilogram are used in all over the world, which are used as the standard of the mass. So kilogram has the subunits like the gram and milligrams and the others. So it is called the standard of the mass, and it has the name which is kilogram. So keep in your mind that mass has the SI unit and is the kg. So now we will talk about the next unit, which is the second standard of time, which is called the second, and second is the unit of the time. Actually, first concept about the standard of the time, like the second, was given in October 1967. That was used in the terms of atomic clock. The atomic clock uses the cesium of mass number, means cesium has the mass number of 133. According to this clock, a second is defined as exactly equal to the time interval of 919263177 vibrations of the cesium atom. And the cesium atom, keep in mind, that has the mass number of 133. It may be possible that we can take the two cesium clocks running over for the period of 300,000 years will differ by 1 second only. Means it was most accurate to use in all over the world to calculate the time, because it is not a much difference. But the scientists have thought that there must be an accurate standard unit for the time. So for that purpose, they again tried to more and to define more and more it, but it was likely to be used in all over the world. So again, it means that it can be used very well. But another clock was invented which uses the hydrogen and known as the hydrogen Maser clock. Okay, and this was also a clock which has a convenient way to measure the accurate time, and was not much differences in the time, like this also take the 30 lakh years. Okay, so here if we will talk about the advantage of these two clocks, like the cesium 133 mass number clock, and the second one was the hydrogen clock. Okay, so the advantage of this method is the cesium clock and the hydrogen measure clock can be constructed in conventional laboratories and the standard of time. Means we can say that by using these methods we can calculate the accurate times and accurate standard of the time, which is called the second, can be checked in the laboratories and in all over the world. Actually, these methods are now used in our modern laboratories to check out the accurate time of the, like the second, minutes and the hours. Okay, so now these were about the different units of the standard units of the, like the fundamental quantities, length, mass and the time. So remind in your mind that length has a unit which is called the meter, mass has a unit which is called the kilogram, and time has a unit which is called the second. Now these are the three fundamental basic quantities, and these have the fundamental three units, and on the basis of these units all over the world these are used nowadays. So now we have the different multiples of the kilometer, like kilometer, meter has the kilometer standard, then the units like the centimeter and the millimeters, micrometers and nanometers, and the minute has like the hour, then seconds. So now as like this, kilogram has also the grams and the milligrams and the other. Okay, so now these are the standard of the units. These are used in measuring purposes for the measurement of the different quantities, and now from these quantities other derived quantities are also driven and used in not only the physics, not only journal in the subject of the physics, but in all over the laboratories and the labs and all over in the world. These are used nowadays to calculate the different measurements, to calculate the different things. So I hope you understand well. Now we will talk about the next topic in next lecture, but you please take in your mind these all the things. And if you have any difficulties, any other problems, then you can ask frequently from us. through the contacts. Okay, Khuda Hafiz.